What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Sean Meehan, and joining me as always is my very best pal, Mr. Conor Lawler.
Oh, he's back, is he? Oh,
he's
actually showed up to work. Interesting. That's
boss, come on. I was on the piss. I'm sorry.
I was really drunk.
No. I was at things. But it's fine now. It's all sorted.
Look, as a man who has done the last 2 reports 2 weeks in a row, I mean, my back is exhausted. It's in tatters.
That actually tracks with how the rest of the show goes as well.
So I'm very excited for this week, where you get to tell us all about a Marvel character. I only assume you chose one of the best ones ever, and this episode's going to be our most downloaded one, and we're really just going to probably take Joe Rogan off the top on iTunes.
Okay, a couple of points. Number one, one of our biggest episodes is Chair, let's be honest. Number two, I did actually pick a good character this week. He was ready to go, and then I missed it, and then now I'm doing it this week instead.
Oh, that's okay. If this is your first episode of Hero Zero, this is the show where we choose one comic book character every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. Now, I normally choose DC characters, and Shaun normally chooses Marvel characters. Last week I did Clayface number 2, Matt Hagen, as Shaun was not here. So Shaun, it's your week. You're locked in, ready to go, and I'm hoping, because people are going to give this 5 stars on Spotify if this is good, and if it's not good, they won't.
Well, no, if it's not good, still give it the 5 stars, please.
Please.
But this character I haven't done this character before in all of the years that we've been doing this show. I really wish I had done him before, because a bunch of changes happened recently and his origin's a lot more confusing now.
In a better or worse way?
In a different way. It's not better or worse.
He means worse.
No. There's a lot of people angry about this for certain reasons, okay? But okay. I'm just saying it's just more difficult. Because I'm talking about Nightcrawler.
I know where you go with this. Yes, with the parenthood.
The parenthood. So I'm going to get the parenthood out of the way at the start as best I can. Then we'll get into a bit of his origin.
Also, Nightcrawler, I doesn't know. The blue guy in the X-Men who does the old pops. He can bamf, and he teleports and he goes over to somewhere else. Have you seen X2? We watched it recently. That opening scene with him in the White House. Super fucking great scene.
Real good. Still holds up. So, to start with Nightcrawler, he is Mystique's son. Okay? In the form of a German noblewoman, the shape-shifting mutant Mystique married Baron Christian Wagner in order to benefit herself as part of a deal she made with her partner known as Irene Adler, who is a fictional character from Sherlock Holmes, also in the Marvel Universe, a character called Destiny who can see the future. Alright?
This report, by the way, we're already back at our Shaun report. He's already thrown about 7 characters at us.
This is the 5th draft of this. I've done my best.
Amazing. Okay, so I'm still just thinking this is about Nightcrawler. Blue guy. Cool.
Mystique is married to a German baron. She is also in a relationship with a lady called Destiny. During her marriage, Mystique asked her husband to hire Destiny as a maid and started an affair with her. She also started another affair with a demonic mutant called Azazel. Okay?
Sorry. Azazel, by the way, is in first class. I know Azazel.
Yes.
He can teleport.
He can teleport, and he has a tail, and he looks like a demon.
And he's got it. Oh, hang on. But at the same time, let's be very clear. Mystique is just riding everything that moves. Will have sex with anything in any way.
Exactly. So at the minute, she's married, having 2 affairs.
Where does she find the time?
And she can't teleport either.
No.
During one night, Destiny confided that she wanted to have a child with Mystique. Mystique agreed, and they conceived a child, with Mystique morphing into a man for the act, as the Marvel Wiki describes it.
This is the bit that always confuses me, is that when she morphs, does she carry over, like, the genes and the sperm of whoever she's is?
It depends on who's writing her at the time.
Yeah.
In this case, she did. She altered her gametes, they're called, to pass on traits from both Azazel, the Baron, and countless other people. So she makes she becomes a new person, essentially, with all traits pulled from...
She fundamentally just, like, creates her own DNA for her child.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have sex. Destiny gets pregnant. She ends the affair with Azazel. In order to not raise suspicions about the affair and to please her husband, the Baron, who also wanted a child, Raven used her powers to fake a pregnancy at the same rate as Destiny.
Fucking hell.
So Destiny's actually pregnant, Mystique is not pregnant, and it's Destiny and Mystique's child will be Nightcrawler.
Is this the rewrites that they've recently done?
Yes.
Okay. Seems like it's very confusing. Just have Mystique.
It was all for years. It was just for years. It was Mystique and Azazel's kid. Was just Nightcrawler.
Okay.
And now all this stuff has happened.
Well, even if you wanted to do it the other way, they were just like, she wants to have sex with Destiny and change into and to have the DNA of Azazel. Why do we have the Baron and Azazel and Destiny and like the big love quadruple thing?
See, because Baron Wagner became paranoid after seeing Mystique with Azazel and began to spy on her. Eventually, Mystique and Destiny were caught by the Baron, who wanted to have them killed. But Mystique killed him first, forcing her to pose as the Baron in order to hide the truth.
This is a Knives Out plot.
It's insane. It's body swaps and stuff like that.
It's just, for no reason, they've just made it so much more complicated. And now she's like, oh, fuck. Now I gotta be him. Oh, Jesus.
It's layers upon layers of lies.
It's just like writing into yourself into a corner and then they just keep like, dig up, stupid.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So Mystique impersonates the Baron. The baby was born visibly mutated with blue fur all over, pointed ears, iridescent eyes and a prehensile tail, and seemed to be stillborn. Mystique and Destiny initially wanted to raise Kurt together, but they were soon discovered by servants of the Baron, and Mystique's true appearance was revealed. Basically, after this, an angry mob forms, and they're like, you gave birth to a demon child, we're going to fucking kill you. So Destiny sees this happening, and because she has precognition, so they manage to escape. However, they encounter Charles Xavier, and Charles Xavier helps. They believe that the baby is stillborn at this point.
So they think the baby has not survived.
Yes. So they meet Charles Xavier, and the two of them agree to rewrite their memories to help Mystique deal with the loss of their son.
Fucking hell.
So
amazing.
They had their memories rewritten to believe that Mystique only had an affair with Azazel. That resulted in her being pregnant, and she had abandoned Kurt to drift in a river. So the original origin story is a fake memory that Charles Xavier helped them to make.
Wow, what a way to get around to that. It's
insane. It's like, content-wise, I don't think it's any worse for the content. I just think it's a mad rewrite.
It actually, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, if you're going to do that origin, or if you're going to do the other origin, it doesn't really matter, but to do the both and be like, well, actually, it was a fake memory planted by Charles Xavier, that's insane. That's like having your cake and eating it too. It's like, you just, if you're going to rewrite the origin. I don't think you needed to be like, Charles' brain wipes her so she always remembers the other one.
Yeah, like you are having your cake and eating it too. You're just like, oh, but we like this bit, you know?
I mean, you could have. It's a lot simpler. I don't know why the Baron is involved at all in any of that, to be honest. But like, just have her be in a relationship with Destiny, and then they have a child together, because she's able to just get her to just, who do you want to be or have the DNA of? She can just morph DNA into whatever she wants.
I think there's an easier way to get there.
Even if she was like, oh, I'm just going to make my DNA for my child So it has the best chance. I'm going to have Azazel, I'm going to have Magneto, and I'm going to have Professor X's DNA mixed together. And then it just so happens that Azazel's one is the one that like wins out.
Yeah, and I'm also going to put the Baron's DNA in there so that it looks kind of like him when it's like, you know.
Yeah, like have her do anything she wants.
So anyway, Kurt was set to drift in a river. He was found by a circus and taken in and basically adopted. Before his teleportation power even emerged, Kurt had tremendous natural agility and by his adolescence had become the circus's star acrobat and aerial artists. All the audiences assumed that he was a normal-looking human who was just wearing a demon costume. So he didn't even have to hide his appearance all that much. As he got older, his abilities drew less and less of a crowd until one day the circus owner could no longer afford to keep him. And decided to sell him as a freak show, basically. Fearing the worst, Kurt fled. He accidentally knocked over a torch, igniting the circus. The ringmaster and his men... not the ringmaster, the ringmaster of this particular circus.
He's in this, yes!
No, Fred not Connor.
My favourite Marvel villain, the ringmaster's turned up.
This ringmaster and his men chased Kurt through the forest and were about to shoot him in the fucking face when he teleported for the first time.
The classic, you get put in a desperate situation and it comes out.
Mutant power activates.
Yeah.
Astonished and pleased with his escape, Kurt wearily made his way to the nearby Father Wagner's church. 2 days later, he was discovered and welcomed by the father, and Kurt happily found a home, trading shelter for labour. One evening, a man from the circus burst in the door, apparently being chased by the ringmaster and his goons as well. Father Wagner tried to stop them from taking the boys, but the men proved too strong and set the church on fire during the brawl. Kurt teleported the other boy to a nearby farm and started going back and beating on the ringmaster. Just as he was about to kill him...
He's back!
He's back! No, sorry, again, no, the... lowercase r ringmaster.
Sorry, no. Every time you say it, I just get excited. It's like Christmas, and I think he's here.
His name was Herr Getman, so I can call him Getman.
Do not refer. I only reference one ringmaster in Marvel comics.
I acknowledge
not
one.
He.
So he was beating the shit out of Herr Getman, and Father Wagner reminded Kurt of his humanity. When the tides turned, Herr Getman and his men took aim to kill both Kurt and the priest, but were frozen by Professor Charles Xavier, who happened to arrive and take control of the angry mob's minds, programming them all to remember... Xavier. Oh yeah, just rewriting people's memories. They all believe Kurt died in the fire, basically.
Honestly, every X-Men comic, every 6 issues, is Charles is like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do one of the worst crimes ever and just completely rewrite somebody's brain, and we're all just going to be cool with that, right? We're cool with that? And everyone's like, yeah, Charles, you've done it again.
Don't even worry about it, lads. So then Professor X at this time was putting together a new team of mutants to rescue the original X-Men who had been trapped on Krakoa. So Kurt joined the team, and along with fellow new recruits Storm, Colossus, Wolverine, Banshee and Thunderbird, stayed at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters.
Me, that's a strong team.
Very good team. And then, so they, as opposed to the first team who were teenagers and then trained up, the second team of X-Men was all grown adults. So they just basically trained in the danger room to hone their powers, basically.
In my head, I like the idea that Charles is actually, my second team is way better than my first team. I would get Jean Grey back, but
we have Storm, so
Storm is a fucking god, and Wolverine can't die, and we've got Colossus and Nightcrawler backing them up. So I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, so he got very close with Wolverine and Colossus. Kurt usually uses... They're alien, they're Shi'ar technology. They're in the X-Men show. I don't have to explain them. That basically mask his appearance and make him look human. Kurt once took a dare from Wolverine to walk down the main street of Salem undisguised in his natural appearance. And since then, he rarely uses the cloaking technology. He just goes out in public as himself. Nightcrawler, after a few years, quit the X-Men for a short time, feeling that he wasn't needed since a new character called Pixie was a better teleporter than him. Over the years, the teleportation started taking a strain on him, so he couldn't do it as far or as often.
Okay.
So he planned to return to his homeland of Winseldorf. Another motive for leaving was that the citizens of Winseldorf invited him to visit the new Nightcrawler museum that had been dedicated to him. However, he soon learned that the local townsfolk had tricked him and needed his help in defeating a monster called the Bamf-iest.
Was the ringmaster there? Or was it just, he was...
The ringmaster, he was busy. He was fighting Spider-Man at the time.
He was fighting Spider-Man and Hulk at the same time.
And holding his own, by all accounts.
Holding his own. He had the bow out each arm, and he was just holding their heads, being like, lads, you're not going to get through me. I'll tell you now.
So Nightcrawler fought the Bamf-iest, but quickly discovered that it was actually a 16-year-old boy named Henrik Weber who had been cursed by a Romani woman. After hearing of Weber's tale, Nightcrawler sympathised with him, reflecting of his own mistreatment at the hands of town villagers many, many years ago. Nightcrawler defended him when the townsfolk tracked them down, but was injured in the fight. Henrik killed all of his attackers, and then himself being unable to endure this monstrous lifestyle, Mephisto appeared to collect his soul as well as the souls of the 12 men that he had killed.
Here comes fucking Mephisto to wipe it all up.
Just fucking shows up. Nightcrawler after this returned to the United States and rejoined the X-Men.
If anyone doesn't know, by the way, Mephisto is the devil in Marvel, just in case you're like, who the fuck is Mephisto? He's just a guy that steals people's souls. Well, he doesn't steal them, normally he makes deals with people to be like, hey...
He tricks them, yeah.
It's the Johnny Blaze.
He's a bad sport.
He's a dickhead. So you're like, I'd like to be a billionaire. He's like, cool. So he'll give you $1 billion, but he's like, oh, now you also have 10 minutes to live. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the deal. So he rejoined the X-Men. Later, while on the run from Bastion, Kurt used his ability to get Hope Summers. So Bastion was hunting Hope Summers at this time. He used his ability to get Hope Summers. Who is Bastion
for people?
Bastion is a human cyborg mutant hybrid kind of a thing. He believes that he's the next evolution instead of mutant kind. Kurt used his teleporting ability to get Hope as far across the country as possible. So just a series of linked teleportations. Bastion caught up with him, anticipated one of Kurt's teleports, and put his arm through Kurt's chest.
Holy shit, I love when that happens.
It's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
So Kurt, being religious, prayed to God to give him one last jump of his life. And Kurt brought Hope to Utopia, where the mutants were hiding, dying on its shore there.
Shit.
The X-Men were devastated and gave him a cremation and eulogy. It wasn't a Catholic funeral like he would have wanted, but it was the best they could do under the circumstances. Nightcrawler now resided in heaven.
Sorry, he actually has more stories.
Oh, Connor. You better believe they're rescuing Nightcrawler from heaven.
You best believe they're dragging him out of fucking heaven back to this hellhole.
So, he was somewhat of a loner in heaven, deciding to stay by himself most of the time. He continually began to feel as though he had unfinished business. When Azazel mounted an attack on heaven, he used his because he's a devil. He's attacking heaven. It's what he does. He used his connection to Kurt as a door. The other X-Men were able to create a portal to heaven, again because of their connection to Kurt, allowing them to aid Kurt in his fight and also to bring him back from the dead.
Fucking hell.
The only trade-off to this is that Kurt Wagner, probably the most Catholic holy boy in Marvel Comics, left heaven voluntarily, meaning that when he dies, he can never go back to heaven.
Holy shit. Oh my god. I mean, I suppose that's an interesting plot point to do with the Catholic character or any religious character, to just be like, they really believe in this thing and now they can never go back to that thing that they believe in.
Yeah, like you gave it up to help more people in the long run. Like, it's kind of a... It's a nice... I think it's an interesting thing. It's
Do you know
wild that
that reminds me of? Is there's an episode of Buffy.
Hey!
But season 6, so season 5 ends and she dies, Shaun. No spoilers. But season 6, the crew are like, we gotta bring her back from the dead. Right? She's dead. All these fucking vampires around the place. We gotta bring her back. And then they resurrect her. And you go through the whole season, and it's not until like at the end of the season you realise why she's so depressed is that she was in heaven and her best friends dragged her out of heaven, and she's like, I was happy, you bastards.
Like, you should have let me sleep. Like,
you should have let me stay there. They were like, oh, you're back, yes, you can help. And she's like, what the fuck is wrong with any of me?
I was done. I was finished.
I was out.
So... this is a more recent Nightcrawler story, and then we'll go on to powers, but he was eventually captured and weaponized by a group called Orcus, who were trying to stop the mutants outnumbering humanity, basically. So he was mind controlled by them. Under his control, he was forced to publicly assassinate 3 anti-mutant chiefs of states to damage mutant reputation. So like the way he was mind controlled at the start of X2 to kill the president.
Yeah, okay.
To raise public hatred of mutant kind.
And I mean, he'd be a great assassin if you had him.
Honestly, he can go anywhere. The Nightcrawler's mission then, he eventually got over the mind controlling.
He just got emotionally over it. He walked it off.
Yeah, it was fine. He took a nice walk, had a glass of water.
Yeah, cool.
But his mission after this became, he decided to make up for the assassinations that Orcus forced him to perform in his name. In order to accomplish it, he decided to help mutants from the shadows, hiding in plain sight as a street-level hero in New York's Central Park. Spider-Man provided him with a spare suit, and Nightcrawler rebranded as a spider-themed vigilante, calling himself Spinnin' Man.
Fucking hell.
Nightcrawler was Spider-Man for a bit. Within the last 6 months this happened.
What? I mean, to be fair, it's not a bad idea. I would actually put him in the Spider-Man suit and have him popping around the city so criminals see Spider-Man everywhere.
That's what he does. Like, and he's got a sword as well. Like, it's wild.
Okay, that seems a bit weird, but okay.
The new spooky hero immediately gained popularity among Spider-Man fans as an eccentric sensation. Moreover, he also became a target of the mercenary Silver Sable, with whom he would enter an affair. As well as Orcus, who would target him using operatives such as the Rhino in order to apprehend him. Nightcrawler also stumbled upon a disoriented Mystique who had suffered a stroke after an attack on mutants. As she regained her senses, she finally revealed the truth of Kurt's parentage. That's where all of the mother-father
so that was literally like in the last 6 months.
Yeah, very, very recent.
Cool.
He recently returned to the X-Men in his Nightcrawler identity, as they're trying to rescue Cyclops from custody with Orcus. So that's literally what's going on at the minute.
Right, okay, cool.
So in terms of powers and abilities, he has teleportation. He teleports by displacing himself into the Brimstone dimension. So he goes in there for a fraction of a second. His body like auto decides where to go, and then he pops out at another point. It's not psionic, like he has no psychic powers. It's the result of a biochemical reaction that he triggers mentally, that he just puts his body into this different dimension. Right, okay.
And is it one of those where he has to have been there? He can't teleport to somewhere he hasn't seen.
So he can teleport anywhere he wants, but he can't displace anything that's in that position. So if he can't see it, he doesn't know if there's a person walking there.
Yeah, which makes sense. So like, you could teleport to anywhere in the middle of New York, but like there might be somebody just walking their dog, and then they immediately just pop.
Yeah, exactly. So he prefers to teleport where he can see or where he has been before that he knows is safe.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like on Krakoa, he has just a base that only teleporters can reach. Like, it's way up in the mountain, you can't climb it.
But like three of them do it at once and they all kill each other?
That would be pretty funny, actually. His powers displace liquids and gases when he arrives in the course of a teleportation, but he can't displace solids. The longer the distance, the harder and more exhausting it is for him to make the jump. It's easier for him to teleport north to south than it is east to west, because he's going with the magnetic poles instead of against them.
You know what? I like that idea. I mean, the rest of it makes no sense, but if you've got like some like weird fucking science,
there's some weird law to that. Yeah, like
it's something that you say, and the people are like, "Well, I suppose that makes sense." I mean, I'm not going to look too further into it, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, and so he can teleport about 2 miles east to west and 3 miles north to south.
So it's not even by a lot, but that's how they function. Okay, cool. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, in terms of the X-Men, he's normally the first one a lot of people think of. Like, I think of Wolverine, obviously, and Cyclops and Storm. And then, to me, I suppose, for our generation, especially with the X-Men movies, like, he was a massive character in that second and third movie. Second movie especially. And he's also such a memorable character, because that scene is probably one of the best scenes in any of the
That's
X-Men
often
movies.
referenced as like the best use of a mutant's powers, like,
because it just shows that like he just mows his way through the whole security detail of the White House, just one room at a time, completely killing everyone moving along. 'Cause now, he's being mind controlled at the time, so we're not going to hold that against him, but he does. I love the fact that it starts off with that scene. And I always remember this, is like at the start the guards are like, okay, spread out. And then with every room he runs through, they're like getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Like, everyone into the Oval Office, because this is the only place he can't get into.
And he's pushing further and further into a corner. It's so good. Like, and like he has limited camouflage. He can stick to surfaces. He has micro suction cups on his hands. He has a tail, which he can use to grab objects, as well as a sword. He often fights with 3 swords, which is quite cool.
That's pretty good.
Superhuman agility and reflexes. He's a master acrobat, master combatant. He's a good pilot. He's a medic, and he's multilingual. So English, Japanese, German, French, Spanish. Weaknesses. Despite his superhuman powers, he's regularly susceptible to disease and physical injury. He does not have a healing factor. Also, because he has Azazel's DNA, angel's blood, which in the Marvel comics is a thing, like the blood of an angel, usually heals mutants and humans. Because he's part demon, the angel's blood actually hurts him, adding to whatever injury.
I suppose it's a really good character thing that, like, you have this character who is incredibly religious and like really connected to that, and then one of his like DNA parts is a devil. Yeah,
like it's a weird dichotomy.
Yeah, I'll take dichotomy. Yeah, that works.
And that's everything I have on Nightcrawler, Connor.
I mean, a character I think that a lot of people really like. I would just, put any story with him and Mystique in the same story. I think it's automatically good. I think it's a really interesting dynamic as well. Once again, actually, I think it's either X2 or X3 where they have that scene where he's like, "Why don't you just like look like a person all the time?" And she's like, "'Cause I shouldn't have to."
Yeah.
And it's just literally one line, and it just completely sums up their characters. If he's like, "I have to look like this, but you don't have to," and she's like, "I think you should look like that all the time." I don't care.
Like it's never like explained in the movies, like, oh, that's her son.
It's not until I seen X-Men Evolution that I remember that it was explained to me, and I was like, oh, the only 2 blue people, they're connected.
It all tracks.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, I think he's really cool. I think it's a little confusing, but once you get through that, he's just a very nice, sweet character. Great in the animated series as well, and X-Men 97.
Yeah, if everyone hasn't watched X-Men 97, we could not recommend enough. Watch X-Men 97. It's super good.
So good.
It's probably the best thing they've done in many, many, many years.
Yeah.
And I think it's also going to be a knock-on effect that they're going to probably just do that for a lot of characters now. I don't think it's going to have that same nostalgia. I can see them bringing 90s Spider-Man back.
We're getting freshman year though, so I don't know if they'll double up on the Spider-Man animated.
True. I hope they don't bring Batman the animated series. Don't touch because I can
let
see
it die.
HBO absolutely looking at that completely. Kevin Conroy's no longer with us, so just leave it, please, for God's sake.
Let it be good forever.
But yeah, I think that's it for this week's Hero Zero, Shaun. I think a very good report.
Thank you very much, Bud. Do you want to take us out?
If this is your first episode, you don't have to do anything. If it's your second or above, we'd really appreciate a like, a follow, a share, or whatever way you could support the show. 5 stars on Spotify always helps us out, as we mentioned at the start. You can follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. It's Heroes for Hire Podcast. And mostly, just tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
So I have been Conor Lawler.
I have been Shaun Meehan.
And we shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.